all we came to be happy again. Is a river of light of mine.
Good boy. Hey, vinyl community. Elliot here, Lazy Dogs Records. And seems like contests are just coming out of yin yang lately. And I just can't keep up with them. But when it's been a long time friend of mine on the VCs, the one that's been loyal to me for a long time, and they've got a contest, I got to carve out time to enter their contest because I want to support them. And plus, it's always a good contest when Rod comes up with one. Rod, the happy hippie, the vinyl guy, Rod over near Knoxville, Tennessee, and he's got a contest he's calling the March Madness, just a flipping contest or something like that. But he wants us to show an artist that is solo, and then show one of their albums, and then one of the albums from the band that they were in, or a band that they were in. He said, do 5, do 10, do 15. Well, I pulled 5 out here as I went through my collection, so I thought I would share them with you and show my support for Rod. So the first solo artist I've got is Phil Rosenthal. This is an album called Indian Summer, with the old Dawg and Friends. It's on Flying Fish Records, that great record label out of Chicago, Flying Fish. And Phil Rosenthal, when John Starling left the Seldom Scene, Phil Rosenthal had worked with them in various ways, written some songs with them, played some guitar on some of the recordings, sat in with them and things. He ended up joining the band to replace John Starling and the band, the Seldom Scene. You see me talking about the Seldom Scene all the time. Probably my favorite bluegrass band. And interestingly enough, on this Seldom Scene album, John Starling comes back. John Starling comes back and plays on this one along with Phil Rosenthal. Really good album here of gospel tunes. I'll go local on it, so unless you're in the North Carolina area, you probably have no idea who this guy is. But Bill Lyerly, and it's the band's named after him. It's his band. This is Higher Ground, Bill Lyerly. And this is on the Red Ash label out of West Virginia, I believe. And it's Bill. Let's see, show you the other side. There's Bill. Bill, before going out on his own, was a founding member of the seminal North Carolina country rock band, Super Grit Cowboy Band, which still plays some dates even today. But Bill and Clyde Maddox founded this band in the mid-1970s in the Kinston, North Carolina area, and Clyde and 13 right here still play in a version of this band today. And Bill is still playing. He lives in Spain part of the year now, and plays more of a blues rock sound. Okay, one of the great singers, mellow singers of the 1970s and 80s would have been the late great Don Williams, the Gentle Giant. And this is Don, I Believe in You. Don always picked great material to sing. Some he wrote, some he had a few particular songwriters that wrote a lot of his material, and he's just a killer mellow groove when you listen to Don. If you never listen to Don, even if you don't like country music, pull up some Don Williams and listen to it. I think you'd really really like it. It's not pop country at all. But it's more singer-songwriter country, although he relies on a lot of other songwriters along with himself for his material. It's more in that vein than anything else. But before he was solo, he was in a folk trio, and this is a sealed copy. Pazzo Sico, I guess is how you say that. I guess that's Spanish. Spend Some Time With Me, and this was a mid to late 60s folk revival type band, and then Don went solo and saw great success for many years. And he doesn't put out nearly enough albums. He plays a lot live. He's been very active on social media, doing things during the pandemic. But Sam Bush, and this is Late as Usual, one of the great mandolin and fiddle players. He was a junior world champion fiddler when he was in high school. And this is Late as Usual, and this is on Rounder Records from 1984. But he just doesn't put out that much material on CD or vinyl. But he's the original founder of the Newgrass Revival, one of the great progressive bluegrass bands of the 70s and 80s. Okay. All right. And finally, I'll finish this one off. One of the great voices that defies categorization, really. Rihanna Gibbs. And this is featuring Francisco Teresa, who I think is French, plays a lot of Mediterranean instruments, drums and percussion instruments, things like that. There Is No Other is the name of this. And there is Rihanna Gibbs, and there is Francisco, her boyfriend now, I think. A fine musician in his own right, thus he gets a with credit on here. He plays a big part of the song None Such. Rihanna Gibbs. What do you call her music? I don't know what you call it. It's just good. And the band that she was in that really propelled her to notoriety was the Carolina Chocolate Drops. This was a black string band. I hesitate to call it a revival band. They played string band music. The contributions of African Americans in string band music was kind of overlooked or forgotten or lost for a long time. They did a wonderful job of reintroducing to the world string band music. And there she is right there. And but I don't want to call them a revival band. That's not what they did. They did a lot of creative things. This was produced by Buddy Miller. This was on None Such, 2012, I believe, although this might be when it was issued on vinyl. Rod, have a great time with your contest. Appreciate you, brother. And if anybody's interested in entering Rod's contest, I'll have a link below to where he introduces the contest. But that'll do it for me. Everybody remember, be kind to your neighbors because we're all neighbors. Take care.